Look at this goofball. Okay, so today is the second day of writing the book, or actually it's still the day of sort of preparation, because I'm still trying to get back to the same headspace where I was when I was writing it for the first time, and I'm still going through more notes, because I remember I had like more notes than I've covered like yesterday, and so today I'm just doing exactly that, just because I wrote like more sort of notes about the specific characters, like maybe like little quirks of theirs, or like maybe like short little stories of their kind of lives in a sense, just so it would be easier for me to basically get back to that space and know like where everyone is kind of, and what they stand for and what they do and stuff like that. So I'm still doing this now today. Okay, so as I'm like going through all those notes, and now basically I read everything that I have like put into Scrivener project, I'm just thinking that exactly what I was sort of afraid of is happening right now, because I have way too many like little notes, way too many little details, but there is no coherent story yet, and also there is like many different branches where I would want the story to go, but I don't know like which one should I choose and which one should I concentrate on. And that now I remember that was the problem initially, and it's still the problem, and I will have to solve it, because it's kind of so many like little things for like at least one book that at least because I don't want it to be a big book, that I basically now have to like sort of sit down and figure out the exact and sort of finalized timeline of the events, and also because there are several sort of moving pieces in the story. We have this like little boy, and we have this little cat, and I would want them to sort of meet together, but also at the same time I would want to tell a little story of like one character and then another character, in a way that it would sort of made you empathetic, I guess, with both of them, and sort of understand what kind of characters they are, what kind of people and animal they are. But I don't know how to do it right now, because I'm so sort of indecisive in a sense, because I don't care that much how exactly it should be, and it all kind of plays together not in a great way, because again, since I don't hold so like dearly to one side of the story or the other one, it's really tough for me to sort of decide which one should I go. So yeah, that's gonna be a problem throughout this whole experience, I'm pretty sure. And anyway, just wanted to share this little bit. That's how we play. It's so ridiculous that I'm overthinking literally like everything. I really like have struggles to just like sit and type. I need to know like the background of each character, the background of siblings of characters. Need to like construct the whole sort of world and surrounding before I can just type the story. This is so weird how this brain works. So sort of, I don't know, not passionate and like let's try to tell the story, but in a sense more like analytical, and like, okay, this should be here, this should be there, and what about this, how this will relate to this story, blah blah blah, all of these things. And my god, the second day was spent basically trying to figure out little quirks, little nuances, and I didn't film much, so I guess I'm gonna cut this together with tomorrow's day. Hopefully I'm gonna write more, and hopefully I'm gonna figure out the main story, because I'm trying to write a little bit here and there, and starting to feel like I'm not quite sure where to start the story, because there could be like several points from which we could like tell the story, and I didn't quite figure out yet what would be sort of the best way, the best approach, and the best starting point from where we go. So I was just wondering, like, is this like really common for people when they write, to like, yeah, just sit and sort of analytically structure everything, or people just can basically sit down and write and there's not a problem, and it's only me who struggles with this kind of thing, where I really need to figure out the whole world. I remember that I've done this before, but I literally had to sort of figure out a map with a plan of a kind of city and that area and stuff like that, just so I could like mentally know where everything is, or at least roughly where everything is. And now I'm going back to sort of the background of a couple characters, and now I'm kind of starting to figure out, okay, how they ended up specifically there, and also like where would be the house of like our, our main sort of boy protagonist, where he would be, and how would he sort of, cross paths with this cat and stuff like that. And I literally have to have a map and to visualize everything, and to sort of be able to submerge myself into like this story, which is, I don't know if it's weird or not, because I haven't watched that many videos of writers explaining sort of the thought process and how they write stories. So I don't know if everybody sort of struggles with this, or is this the approach of like most people, or that's like something that my brain does weirdly. So today was the day. There was some progress made. There was not a lot of progress made, but it's okay, because again, I did not touch this project whatsoever for like the whole year pretty much. And now, yesterday and today, I finished basically going through all my notes at this point. I've added already today several little bits and pieces, and I'm continuing to sort of going back and to that headspace and trying to figure out this. Also, I just realized something that is really cool, that really, one thing that really helps me sort of to kind of come down and sort of go into that happy place where the story takes place and everything, is listening to the sounds of nature, especially if I'm like writing a sort of passage or some part of the story where, for example, in this case, part of the story takes in winter. So I just went on YouTube and found like winter noises, like a storm noises or something like that, like a snowstorm noises, and it really helps me to just sort of get there. In addition to what I mentioned before, that I have like literally like a plan of the area in my head and also like on paper. All of that combined sort of helps tremendously. And also I learned that I cannot whatsoever either listen to like any podcast or whatever, but that's quite obvious, but also cannot listen to music, even if it's like instrumental music. The very sort of max of music could be some like instrumental drone-like music, I guess that's the word, something like lowercase noises or hammock. What's the word? What's the band? Oh, what's the band's name? Slow Dancing Society. Yeah, something like that, which is like ambient music. That could be alright. Anything where like there's any lyrics or whatever, like movie scores, game scores, nothing works for me. The best is like this ambient music, or, which is like top of the line, just the sounds of nature. I don't know why, but especially something like with running water, like a creek, or maybe like waves at the beach, something like that. They really sort of calm me down and sort of focus my mind. So maybe if you struggle to write something, or struggle maybe not even write, but like maybe edit a video or do some work on the computer, maybe you should try out the same thing, kind of find sounds of nature and see how it goes for you. Maybe it will also be very helpful, and maybe you haven't tried it before, I don't know. But yeah, just wanted to sort of add this little piece of information, because why not? We're trying to share here as we sort of move along this whole process and whatnot. Yeah, okay. Okay, so it's the third day, 3rd of November, of this writing challenge, whatever we're doing here. We're gonna try to sort of get closer to finalizing the whole timeline, and maybe we're gonna write today too, because that would be nice as well, because, you know, finalizing everything and structuring everything is good, but at the end of the day you have to like put words on the page as well. Okay, so I feel like something starts to click in my brain, at least a little bit. At least as of right now, I am kind of laying down sort of some interactions or altercations that the cat would have like on the street or something like that, and that sort of, I guess, sparks more interest, at least as of right now to me, and it seems more logical to write it right now, because basically this life of a cat on the street is quite direct sort of analogy of just life of humans right now on the street who are homeless, and I've been watching quite a few videos sort of online and on YouTube, and read quite a few stories, you know, of people how they like lose, you know, everything and end up on the street alone and, you know, pretty freaking desperate. And that was sort of where this idea came from, to write this kind of story, actually, and a little bit of my own experience with just a cat and stuff like that. And so I feel like this kind of social commentary, in a sense, is a bit more important than just the story of how a small child learns how to sort of treat a cat and how they kind of live together and stuff like that. I feel like that is a bit secondary. It's important because there are also several sort of layers. There will be, I hope, at least if I manage everything correctly, several layers of like, you want one thing but you maybe can't get, or, you know, like your parents don't allow you to get a pet or something like that. But then you see, you know, somebody in need, and even if it's like something that you maybe didn't want, you still go for it because that's the right thing to do. And then you kind of, first of all, you're being rewarded with, you know, just having a good connection with a cat or something like that, with an animal. But also there are consequences to this. So there's going to be also sort of multiple layers of, you know, your choices and kind of what comes out of it and stuff like that, consequences of your choices. But I feel like, at least for now, at least as the 3rd of November, in my mind it feels like, first of all, it's easier for me to concentrate right now on the cat's life on the street, but also because I kind of want to tell this story more, right now at least. So we'll see how it goes. I swear, it's so weird. Just as I thought that I kind of already figured out at least like one side of this whole book writing process, I guess. Just when I thought that, okay, I'm gonna concentrate on this part of the story, on the cat story first, my brain already making excuses, or not excuses, but sort of putting roadblocks basically. It's so interesting. I've never thought that I would be thinking about so many things, and I've never thought that writing a book, a small children's book, I'm not trying to write here, you know, freaking Lord of the Rings, but it just gives a second and completely different level of appreciation for any writer or any like screenwriter, stuff like that, who, you know, conceived the like big story with like story arcs and like giant arcs, and, you know, kind of just anybody who makes a coherent story. Now I understand it. There goes a lot of effort into all of that, and even like keeping track of like timelines and stuff like that. Already this one, and I have like a couple characters, it's already kind of slightly complicated. Really interesting. It's really interesting, but it's also really not as easy as I thought it would be. So yeah, just thought I might share a little bits and pieces of of this process. Have you enjoyed this little section of kind of meditation, I guess? I don't know. Just some sort of sound therapy, I guess, from Tessa. And yeah, I just wanted to kind of make a note of the fact that, again, as I go with each day, I realize kind of learn more about sort of my own preferences and how I kind of want to do things, and how my brain functions, I guess. And today was a good progress in the sense that I have figured out the structure, and I was just working today on like coming up with like little bits and pieces of what I'm gonna include in the story, which is really nice, because again, I realized as I'm going that I really need some structure, because otherwise the possibilities are limitless, and at least my mind always goes to whatever, like 20 million different places. And so I really need to like lay down some foundation, and then like establish certain rules, certain kind of facts about the story, about the world, and then we can go and build on top of that. Yeah, I think today was a good day in this regard. I'm kind of happy. It's obviously it's not much, but the fact that I have sort of progressed from this point of sort of just trying to figure out the whole kind of set of rules and how it's all going to operate, to at least for now, it all can change, but at least for now, figuring out this sort of story layout kind of a book, or of a or sets of books, whatever it will end up. For now, it's good, and it really helped me to structure, because again, I don't know why. Maybe I have like ADD, attention deficit disorder, because my mind always goes into a million different places and it's so hard to focus on something. So I kind of suspect that I might have it, but unfortunately for me, I grew up and live in Belarus, the country that doesn't treat such kind of medical conditions like ADD, and I'm pretty sure the medications such as like whatever Ritalins, Fetamines, whatever those things could be prescribed to you. I'm pretty sure they're just outright banned here, and you would go to jail for having them. So that's not gonna help me dealing with my sort of mental issues to live in fucked up place like this, which is a bit sad, but that's a sort of story and topic for a separate video. So yeah, just wanted to make this sort of update, I guess, for the future me, and or maybe if somebody will check out those videos, maybe you will see like the progression of the story, and again of the ideas and the struggles, and sort of how it all will come hopefully together in the end. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, leave a like, and share this video if you want to, and I really appreciate you if you're watching this, and leave a comment below, like just say hi and just comment. Okay, I'll see you in the next video, and for now, bye bye, take care.